How many celebrities do you know who've gone under the knife? And how many of them ended up regretting it? In Hollywood, the pressure to stay young and flawless can turn even the most confident stars into victims of their own reflection. What starts as a harmless tweak can spiral into a lifetime of surgeries and shattered self-image. Today, we'll look at the stars who took their obsession with beauty too far and how chasing perfection ended up destroying it. Linda Evangelista. In the 1990s, Linda Evangelista wasn't just a supermodel. She was the supermodel. Her face graced more than 700 magazine covers, defining an era of elegance, confidence, and high fashion allure. But behind that flawless image lay a story that would later change her life forever. In 2015, Linda decided to try cool sculpting, a trendy, non-invasive fat freezing procedure that promised to remove stubborn fat without surgery or downtime. It was considered safe. Many celebrities swore by it. Yet, for Linda, what began as a simple cosmetic treatment turned into a devastating nightmare. After 7 sessions, the treated areas began to harden and enlarge instead of shrinking. Her chin, thighs, and chest slowly became misshapen. Doctors diagnosed her with paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, a rare side effect that affects less than 1% of patients. For Linda, that unlucky percentage destroyed not only her appearance, but also her career. She underwent 2 liposuction surgeries in 2016 and 2017, but the damage was irreversible. The physical pain was harsh, but the emotional toll was even greater. The woman once known for saying, "I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day," now quietly admitted, "I've been brutally disfigured." Ashamed and heartbroken, she withdrew from the spotlight for years, avoiding cameras, fashion shows, and even close friends. The once dominant face of the fashion world vanished. Today, Linda has courageously returned to the public eye, modeling again with pride and vulnerability. She now speaks openly about her trauma, using her platform to raise awareness about the hidden dangers of cosmetic procedures and the importance of self-acceptance. Once the embodiment of perfection, Linda Evangelista has become a powerful voice for resilience, honesty, and the beauty of survival. Kenny Rogers. For more than 6 decades, Kenny Rogers was an American icon. With his warm voice and steady gaze, he captured millions of hearts through timeless hits like The Gambler and Islands in the Stream. He embodied the image of the strong, genuine, all-American man. But in the 1990s, under the relentless pressure of fame and aging in front of the camera, Rogers made a decision that would change his face and his self-image forever. As years passed, the country legend began to feel the weight of an industry obsessed with youth. High-definition TV stage lights and press photos constantly reminded him that time was catching up. Tempted by the promise of staying young, Kenny turned to cosmetic surgery. It began with a facelift followed by eyelid surgery procedures meant to refresh his look. But instead of turning back the clock, the results left him unrecognizable. The once expressive, rugged face that fans adored became unnaturally tight with arched brows and a look of constant surprise. Fans were shocked, critics harsh. "He doesn't look like Kenny anymore," many said. Behind the spotlight, the singer himself admitted to feeling lost when he looked in the mirror. Years later, he confessed with regret, "I wish I hadn't done it. I just wanted to look a little younger, but I lost my natural masculinity." Though the scars faded, the emotional toll lingered. Still, his music, his greatest gift, remained untouched. Rogers continued performing, recording, and connecting with fans until his passing in 2020 at age 81. Even in his later years, his voice carried the soulful wisdom of a man who had lived, loved, and learned that time. No matter how hard we fight, it always wins. Lisa Rinna. Before becoming one of America's most recognizable TV personalities, Lisa Rinna had a simple dream to feel more beautiful. At just 20 years old, inspired by the glamour of Hollywood and the movie Beaches, she made a decision that would shape her image for decades. In 1986, she received permanent silicone lip injections, believing it would give her a signature look. For years, the results were everything she hoped for. Her full pouty lips became her trademark, the Rinna smile everyone recognized on red carpets and TV screens. But time had other plans. As the years passed, the silicone began to harden, forming painful lumps and uneven shapes. Her once perfect lips became a daily struggle. After nearly 25 years, Lisa finally turned to a Beverly Hills surgeon in 2010 to remove the scarred tissue. The surgery eased her discomfort, but couldn't undo the damage completely. Privately, she battled with her reflection of face that no longer felt like her own. Still, Rena continued experimenting with fillers, Botox, and breast enhancements. Gradually, her appearance grew tighter, her expressions less natural. Fans who once adored her warmth began noticing something off, a stiffness that replaced her lively charm. Criticism followed both online and in the media in the Y. By 2024, after years of speculation and harsh social media comments, Lisa finally opened up. Some of those fillers weren't for me. I had to dissolve them. Her honesty surprised many, but also exposed the emotional toll of maintaining beauty in Hollywood. Today, Lisa remains active, embracing authenticity over perfection. The woman who once sought a small touch of glamour has become a cautionary symbol of Hollywood's obsession with youth, reminding everyone that the line between self-improvement and self-destruction can be as thin as a needle. Joan Van Ark. During the 1970s and 1980s, Joan Van Ark reigned as one of television's beloved stars. Her role as Valine Ewing on Knots Landing made her an icon. An angelic face, gentle eyes, and a radiant smile that embodied classic Hollywood beauty. But as the years passed, that same face became her greatest fixation. In the early 1990s, Joan underwent her first rhinoplasty, a subtle change barely noticeable. Yet, what began as a small adjustment spiraled into a series of procedures, facelifts, eyelid surgery, Botox injections, and chemical peels. Each time she saw new signs of aging, she tried to stop the clock with another surgery. The results, however, were heartbreaking. Her once glowing complexion turned pale, her skin tight, and expression frozen. The HD cameras that had once adored her now revealed every surgical trace: taut skin, hollow eyes, and a smile that no longer moved naturally. By the 2000s, her drastically altered appearance became a tabloid obsession. Headlines asked, "What happened to Joan Van Ark?" Though she denied going too far, the truth was clear. Years of procedures had stripped away not only her youth, but also the warmth that made her so captivating. In 2020, during the 40th anniversary of Knots Landing, fans were stunned to see her nearly unrecognizable. Her face, stretched and fragile under the lights, bore the toll of decades spent chasing perfection. Today, Joan keeps a lower profile, occasionally appearing at charity and reunion events. Despite criticism, she remains proud of her legacy and the impact of her work. Her story stands as a haunting reminder that the battle against time is one no one can truly win, and that sometimes the most beautiful thing a person can do is simply grow older gracefully. Cayetana Fitz-James Stewart. Why da Silva. For centuries, Spain's House of Alba stood as a symbol of power, wealth, and nobility. But no member of this royal lineage captivated the world quite like Maria del Rosario Cayetana Fitz-James Stewart, I Silva, the 18th Duchess of Alba, known for her eccentric spirit and immense fortune. She held more than 40 noble titles, making her the most titled woman in the world. She had everything money could buy except time. During the 1980s, as Europe celebrated her charm and flamboyant style, Cayetana began her personal crusade against aging. When the first wrinkles appeared, so did a long list of surgeons. It started with a simple nose job, followed by facelifts, lip fillers, and endless rounds of Botox. Each procedure promised eternal youth, yet brought her further from the grace that once defined her. Over time, her refined aristocratic beauty transformed into something taut, shiny, and uneven. To make matters worse, she was diagnosed with Melkerson-Rosenthal syndrome, a rare disorder that causes facial swelling. Desperate to hide the effects, she underwent even more procedures that only worsened her appearance. Her skin lost elasticity. Her expression became fixed, and her once elegant features faded behind layers of cosmetic intervention. Still, the Duchess remained defiant. In 2011, at age 85, she shocked the world by marrying a man 24 years her junior. The wedding made international headlines not for the romance, but for her dramatically altered face. Some praised her courage to live on her own terms. Others pied her transformation. Cayetana Fitz-James Stewart passed away in 2014, leaving behind vast estates, royal palaces, and an unforgettable legacy. Yet her life stands as a poignant reminder that even the most privileged among us cannot buy what truly matters: youth, time, or peace with one's reflection. LaToya Jackson, born into one of the most famous families in the world. LaToya Jackson grew up surrounded by camera's talent and constant comparisons, especially to her legendary brother, Michael Jackson. In the 1980s, she tried to carve her own path as a singer, actress, and model. Her album, My Special Love, earned her a spot on the charts. And for a while, she was seen as the warmer, more relatable Jackson sibling. But as her fame grew, so did her insecurities. The pressure to stay flawless, combined with the shadow of Michael's own changing appearance, set her on a similar path. By the late 1980s, LaToya underwent her first rhinoplasty meant to refine her features. The change was striking and quickly became a topic of public fascination. More surgeries followed throughout the 1990s. Additional nose jobs, facelifts, cheek implants, chin enhancements, and lip fillers. With each procedure, she drifted further from her natural self. Her skin grew tight and expressionless, her nose increasingly narrow, and her once soft smile turned unnervingly stiff. The tabloids nicknamed her the broken porcelain doll. Inevitably, comparisons to Michael resurfaced. Two siblings both transformed by the same impossible quest for perfection. In later years, LaToya became a symbol of Hollywood's obsession with image. Every TV appearance reignited conversations about the cost of fame and the extremes of cosmetic surgery. Yet behind the headlines was a woman wrestling with identity, someone who sought acceptance in the mirror rather than within. Today, in her late 60s, LaToya lives a quieter life, appearing occasionally on television and supporting projects honoring her family's legacy. Her story stands as a poignant reflection on the Jacksons' greatest paradox, a dynasty that achieved everything except true self-acceptance. Goldie Hawn. For over 5 decades, Goldie Hawn embodied pure joy in American cinema. Her infectious laugh, sparkling blue eyes, and effortless charm made her one of the most beloved stars of the 1970s and 80s. She didn't need to try to shine. Her light was genuine, spontaneous, and warm. But time, Hollywood's most unforgiving critic, spares no one, not even its brightest faces. As the years passed, Goldie began to feel the weight of an industry obsessed with youth and terrified of aging. In the early 2000s, she turned to cosmetic procedures. At first, just small touch-ups, cheek fillers, a bit of Botox under her eyes, minor facelifts. But as so often happens, one procedure led to another. In trying to preserve the face audiences adored, she slowly lost the natural expression that once defined her beauty. Her transformation became undeniable in 2014 when she walked the red carpet at the Academy Awards. Cameras captured a face that looked tight, puffy, and almost frozen in a look of surprise. Experts speculated about excessive Botox, facelifts, and eyelid surgery. The smoothness of her skin came at the cost of warmth. The radiant smile that once lit up screens now seemed rehearsed and stiff. When Goldie returned to the big screen in 2017's comedy Snatched, fans noticed something missing. That spark of spontaneity that made her magic. Her face moved less. Her expressions felt restrained, as if hidden beneath an invisible mask. What was once a symbol of eternal youth had become a cautionary tale about the dangers of chasing it. Today, Goldie lives a quieter but joyful life with her longtime partner Kurt Russell. She focuses on family, especially her children, including actress Kate Hudson and her mental health foundation, Mind Up. Though time has changed her face, her heart and laughter remain timeless. Then and now 2025, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.